If you guys want the fastest way to improve your aim, get some Control Freaks for cheap. Use code Goblin for 10% off and improve your aim today. Link in the description.
Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty World War II video. In today's video, the Resistance event has just gone live, as well as a new patch update that you have to update on Call of Duty World War II, and a bunch of stuff was added to the game, a bunch of things were changed with this game, and overall it's looking like a pretty big and a pretty nice update here, so I'm going to talk about that for you guys today. This just came out about an hour ago or maybe 2 hours ago, and a brand new update into this game. If you guys could drop a like on this video, I'd really appreciate that. Let's go ahead and try to smack up 97 likes. That would be amazing if we could hit that. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and let's talk about it. So of course, the big brunt of this update was around this Resistance event coming to the game. As you guys will now see on the game, the headquarters is all changed, much like we had the Winter Siege event before. This event basically mimics that, as well as some different changes to that. However, that wasn't the only thing to happen with today's patch update. They came out with this Resistance event basically, but they also had some normal patch notes. So we'll cover the patch notes here first, then we'll talk more about what actually happened with this event, and let's get right into the notes. Some of the stuff is really good here. A lot of it, the pro players are celebrating on Twitter, but a lot of this stuff will also be good for normal game modes and public match players. So the first thing is they fixed the issue where volume of sub-announcer lines in war mode were louder than intended. Of course, you guys let me know what that was. Basically, they planted a bomb on your ammo supply or whatever when the guy would yell. That should be fixed now in war mode, which it took them long enough to fix that. It kind of became a meme because of how annoying that was to certain war players. I saw a lot of people talking about it in my comment section down below. Me personally, I'm not the biggest war player. You guys know me. I stick to usually domination and other multiplayer game modes, but that seems to be fixed. Next one is they've turned down footstep volume as well as other players' footstep volume. So overall, across the board, footstep volume is down and will be quieter in this game, Call of Duty World War II. This was mostly a competitive thing, as they were having some issues with search and destroy, everyone having to run mountain division, crouch walking, different stuff like that. That's what I think this is centered around. However, this does make a big deal in certain game modes in public matches, mainly I would say free-for-all, search and destroy, and potentially TDM. Those are probably the ones where you could sound whore the most in normal game modes. You're going to have to test this out and see how much they actually decrease the footstep sound by. And by the way, guys, if I do sound a little sick, it's because I am. But I'm going to power through and, do this commentary for you guys. Next thing here is very exciting. Friendly shell shock no longer impacts player movement. Video FX and screen shake still present, but player movement and look speed reductions have been eliminated. So basically, the shell shock has been toned down or fixed, where it's still going to happen. You're still going to realize, hey, I'm in someone's mortar strike or I'm in someone's artillery barrage that's on my team, but it shouldn't make you lose gunfights like it did before. I think that's what they were really going for with this update, and hopefully, it plays like that and is a positive change, because that's one thing that I really didn't like about this game when it first came out, and of course since then there's been other issues. But the shell shock, when your teammate's calling kill streaks and it shakes all over the place, and especially if your teammate calls in stuff right on top of you, you can't really control that. It's just another crazy variable, and sometimes if you're pushing the spawn, you're on a 20 streak, you're close to a V2 rocket, teammates call in stuff, your screen starts shaking, you lose the gunfight. That can definitely be a big issue right there. As far as the other thing that was added here, it is tuning change to increase the speed of health regen. Of course, this one is one that really they don't give us any exact numbers, which is something I have sort of against patch updates with Call of Duty. Is it would be nice if they started giving more advanced numbers. They did it with the combat shotgun nerf. They talked about how they and the nerf and the buff. They talked about how they upped it plus 50 damage range and then brought it back down minus 20 damage range after that. And I wish they started giving us direct numbers instead of everything having to be tested and stuff like that. But I mean, at the same time, it does make it more fun when you get to hop on, use newly buffed, newly nerfed weapons and test them out. But increase to the speed of health regen was changed, and that is definitely something super exciting. Now, those are the patch notes around gameplay. Around the new DLC, there's new DLC weapons, there's a resistance event. So what we have here is we have the 4 DLC weapons. We have the Orso SMG, which we have the Volkssturm Gewehr, we have the combat knife, and the 9mm SAP pistol. Now, here's the thing. 3 of these weapons are available through collections to purchase straight up. The first one would be the Orso SMG. This one only costs around 6,000 armory credits, 6 or 7,000, to purchase straight up through collections, through Resistance event. When I got on this morning, that was the first thing I did. Only 6,000 armory credits for a brand new SMG. I think that's a pretty steal of a deal. However, if you don't want to pay that, or if you don't have 6,000, you can go to the Major Howard in the cave. You can sign up for one of his special orders, which I believe right now is complete or win a certain amount of multiplayer matches to get this Orso SMG completely free, similar to what it was before with the Winter Siege event. Next one is the Volkssturm Gewehr, which is the rifle, and that one seems to cost around 24,000 if you want to buy it straight up with armory credits. Of course, I would not recommend doing that, especially when you're probably going to be able to get this one for free out of special orders within a day or two. You know, you'll probably be able to activate the contract, or you could just get this straight up out of opening resistance supply drops if you are earning those, which basically all the contracts now switched over from rares to those supply drops. The next one is the combat knife, which is available through collections, costs around 17,000 or something insane for a melee weapon. 100% not worth it for that one. That's going to be one that, me personally, it's a melee weapon. I don't really care that much about it, but I'll probably pick it up towards the end of this event once it's rotating through those special orders. Now, the other interesting thing is the 9mm SAP. You might even miss that it was added to the game for the fact that it's not under collections, it's not really under anywhere except under pistols in the game. You see the 9mm SAP. Now at this time, I don't really know how this is unlocked. Some people are calling it the secret pistol. It's not through collections. Maybe it's supply drop only. Maybe there's some sort of special contract for this that's going to come out through the special order. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but there is a new pistol into the game. I'm sure, you know, this update just came out. I'm sure people will figure out how to unlock this, but as of right now, a lot of confusion around that, but there is a new pistol. Of course, they also added the Resistance Division, which is now the newest division, the first extra division or DLC division, you could call it, into Call of Duty World War II. So instead of just your traditional with 5, you know, airborne infantry, those ones, you now have, I think it's the 6th one, which would be the Resistance. And that one, it's very interesting. It gives you Scrambler, which scrambles enemies' radars when you're near them. Basically gives you 6 cents from Black Ops 3. Gives you your pistol, a tactical knife, and also some other stuff like that. So it's a very interesting one right there. Do I think this is a good, a good division and something worth using? Probably not. I'm not sure how good the 6 Sense is or the Scrambler. I'm going to test it out definitely a few times, but I think it's more designed for around pistol and knifing players. I'm not sure why they made a full division to that, but I guess to go around with a new pistol or maybe something like that, that is what's going on with the Resistance Division. Next thing is Prop Hunt game mode is now under the featured game modes. If you guys are interested in Prop Hunt, of course, that was in very famous game on PC. It still is, and of course, it was in Modern Warfare Remastered, where there was huge hype around it. I think it did pretty big numbers. Obviously it did if they're bringing it back to World War II, or bringing it to the future, I guess, technically, or bringing it back, whatever you want to call it. And next thing is Emblems are now out. You can go into the Emblem guide, which is basically in the headquarters. You'll walk down to the left and you'll see the emblem thing. If you guys, it's not too hard to find, and it's pretty cool. You can see all the top emblems. I think you can download other people's emblems and set them. It looks like a really good system so far. As far as paint jobs, they do not seem to be live right now. Who knows when they could go public in 5 minutes from now. Could be in a couple days. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. Maybe they're just late on that one, but emblems are out as of right now. Of course, the headquarters is Resistance themed. The headquarters in the menu was also moved. You know how there was an issue where the headquarters was in the top left of the main menu, and a lot of times when you go to hit public match and try to find a match, you'd accidentally hit headquarters and end up having to wait for that loading screen. Headquarters has now been moved in the menu, to a lot of people's delight. And the biggest news, maybe, double XP and double weapon XP live through January 29th. So a huge update overall. A bunch of good stuff here. Of course, DLC weapons is probably what I'm most hyped about, as well as these multiplayer changes. I'm really excited to see how the shell shock changes, as well as the health regen, actually affect gameplay. Definitely steps in the right direction. Pro players are very excited right now on Twitter, and I am as well, because this looks like a very good update overall. And of course, the thing with these events is because usually they're hyped for the first couple days, but they drag on the events for like a month. I know with the Winter Siege, by the end of it, no one really cared about it. I feel like it'll be the same with this one with the Resistance event, but right now it's brand new, and of course it lasts like almost a month or something like that. But as of right now, there's definitely some hype around this one, and definitely is an exciting thing to add to Call of Duty World War II. And once again, some more positive steps in the right direction. If you guys made it to the end of this video, please drop a like on this thing. That would be absolutely awesome. If you guys could smash that like button, I would really appreciate that. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new, and of course subscribe for a cookie, and don't looky. New updates out. Go on, download it, have some fun, and definitely, you know, a really good update overall, and excited to test out these new DLC weapons. I'm out. Peace.